So that's another point I'd make. On the one hand, we're dealing with this Taiwan civil government thing and establishing the DC office, getting in touch with the government representatives, and then they'll be getting in touch with some members of Congress and all this, their staff members and all this. But on the other hand, we also have another case going. It's been going for 6-8 months. We have another set of applications. We made the other set of applications. Each application is about 18 pages. We came up with an 18-page application, and we had 18 people apply, and we had the lawyer submit those applications to the Department of State. You know, I mean, the basic rationale is, I mean, you already said RC is not a state, it's not a government. You don't recognize it as a sovereign nation. People living political purgatory, essentially stateless. All these things are already on the record. So, I mean, these people, they want passports issued by the U.S. You know, as to what passport that might be, I mean, there are a couple possibilities. If you don't want to say Guomin Fei Gongmin, then I don't know. I mean, you can go to the Geneva Conventions. You can go to Article 4 of Bei Baohu Renshi, protected persons. Okay, protected persons under Geneva Conventions, because USMG is protecting power. Okay, under the Geneva Conventions. There are several ways to do this. Other than that, you just give them some kind of U.S. identity document, whatever it is. You know, you're going to have to give them something, because you're the person in charge of Taiwan. So these applications are also working at the present time. I mean, we don't talk about that much, but with the lawyer, we're constantly in touch with him, and he thinks maybe another month or so, if he doesn't get any positive development, then he'll go ahead and, you know, file suit in the court, because, you know, no response. You haven't given us a detailed response on these applications, and then he'll have some kind of hearing. He'll have an administrative hearing, and then see what happens with that. So, I mean, I would say we're also working on that angle. So that should certainly there'll be some development of that by the end of the year for sure. I mean, it's already September. By the end of the year, we should know where that's going. So I think as soon as we get some authority that there should be U.S. issued passports, I think things will develop very quickly.
Can you tell me what kind of document is ID for the people here in Puerto Rico?
What kind of documents
Yeah.
that we're applying for?
Since it's a U.S. territory, I have been there, and
In Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
They carry U.S. passports. They're U.S. citizens. They do not have the right to vote in federal elections. They do not pay U.S. federal income taxes.
Oh, they're about Guam. About Guam.
Guam, they're also collectively naturalized by law. They're also carrying U.S. citizens, but they don't vote in federal elections. The only U.S. national non-citizen passport you have now is American Samoa. They're nationals, but not citizens. But you know, the people from Guam or Puerto Rico, they can come to the U.S. and they can, if they decide to live somewhere, you know, they can live there freely. And then after some period of time, they can register as a local, and then they've got their voting rights in their federal elections. So, you know, for them it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. But the key point is that you know, Puerto Rico, Guam, American Samoa, they could decide to be independent. They could have a vote on independence. But California can't be independent because California is already a state. And a state is a final status in the Union. You know, you'll remember back in the 1860s or something, South Carolina decided to secede from the Union, and that started the Civil War, because Lincoln said, no, you can't. You can't secede from the Union. And all those states, you know, they had the South against the North, and that was the Civil War. Of course, they had a big argument back then. You know, the people in the South, they had all those labor-intensive crops. They needed the slaves. Then the people up north, they had different views on that, so that was the Civil War, things like that. So for Taiwan, the good idea, the best idea, is to be something like Guam, where you have the United States dealing with the national defense and the the passports and all the foreign relations and United Nations participation and all that stuff, and then you've got the very best defensive weapons in Taiwan, including all the most advanced aircraft and all that kind of stuff. So nobody's going to bother you. Nobody's going to attack you. They won't dare to attack you. And then at the same time, if you want to have advanced economic relations with China and other countries, then go ahead. It's fine. If you want to. And then when I was hoping that Taiwan could be a training center, and we could bring all the people from China over and train them. And then when they went back, then say, oh, they do a good job in Taiwan, but they don't have this this 中央集权制, Why can't we be more democratic, So that maybe that will be a stimulus to them to kind of open up as well.